Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about what I would do if I were responsible for setting the development direction of Pax Dei. I know the developers are currently working on another major update, but I think this is exactly the moment to slow down for a bit and focus on smaller changes. Not a revolution, not rebuilding the foundations, just improvements that could be implemented relatively quickly and would immediately improve the day-to-day player experience. My first decisions would focus on things that are fast to deliver and have a noticeable impact on how the game actually feels to play. One of the most urgent areas is the permission system, especially when it comes to clan management. This is where the current setup most strongly limits community growth and makes cooperation unnecessarily difficult. Right now, giving someone access to processing stations also effectively gives them building permissions. And worse, the ability to destroy structures. In practice, this forces clan leaders to be extremely cautious when assigning permissions, and that holds back trust, cooperation, and the integration of new members. For many clans, this becomes a real organizational problem. A new player might simply want to help with crafting or processing materials, but the system forces them to receive much broader permissions than they actually need. That creates obvious risks, not necessarily because of bad intentions, but even because of simple mistakes. What's most frustrating is that Pax Dei already has a solution. Nothing needs to be reinvented, same game, same engine, same interface. There is already a functional container permission system with sensible access rules. Containers let you control access to resources without risking unauthorized changes to your infrastructure. If crafting and processing stations use the same permissions model, it would clearly separate can use the station from can build or destroy structures. That single change would let clans bring in new members far more safely. Responsibilities could be expanded gradually instead of forcing an all-or-nothing decision. Technically, it's a small change. Socially, it would have a huge impact. And even in its current, fairly simple form, the container permission system would already solve the problem. Later on, it could be expanded, with whitelists and blacklists, new roles, or deposit-only containers where anyone can add items, but only specific players can take them out. Those are great future upgrades, but for now, the priority should be simple: use what already exists. And this isn't an isolated case. Pax Dei already includes other mechanics that are implemented but not fully leveraged. Another example is buy orders. Players have been asking for buy orders for a long time. They were announced long ago. And just like permissions, much of the functionality already exists, only in an incomplete form. Pax Dei has market stalls. It supports listing items and assigning specific prices. The game can handle transactions, store listings, and resolve exchanges between players. What's missing is simply the ability to flip the logic. Instead of choosing an item first and then setting a price, a player could set the amount they're willing to pay first and then specify what item they want in return. Technically, it's the same system, the same UI, the same stall, just used the other way around. Of course, this approach would have limitations. In the version I'm describing, players could only place buy orders using items or currency they already have. It wouldn't be perfect, and it would need iteration, but as a first implementation, it would be more than enough. It would allow players to post buy orders for common, high-consumption items: charcoal, metal bars, basic resources. More importantly, these quests would naturally scale with the server. Needs change, prices change, demand shifts. It becomes a living system driven by player activity, not static tables. Buy orders would also give players something many of them miss right now: the feeling of living in a world that reacts to them. Many players feel isolated, even while living in densely populated home valleys. They gather resources, craft items, follow their routines, but rarely feel like anyone is actually waiting for what they produce, or that their work matters to a specific person. Buy orders change that. Every order represents a real need from another player. Every fulfilled order is a direct response to someone else's action. The world stops being a backdrop and starts reacting, not through scripts, but through people. Since we're already on the topic of trade, stall taxes are also worth addressing. The current system taxes listings in discrete steps: 1 golden tax for every 20 gold of value, or part of it. That means listing an item for 1 gold still costs 1 golden tax. With many low-priced listings, this becomes a real barrier to trade. A simple adjustment could fix this. Items priced at 20 gold or less could be tax-free, and all higher brackets could be reduced by 1 gold. The result would be immediate: more small listings, better market liquidity, less frustration. From a technical standpoint, This likely comes down to changing a single value in the stall logic. At this point, someone might say that all these ideas focus on systems and mechanics. So what about visuals and UI? I'd have clear tasks for those teams as well. First, loot notifications should be moved from the center of the screen to the lower right corner. It's a small change, but it would greatly improve readability during combat and exploration. Second, the redemption queue should group identical items into a single entry, with the total quantity displayed, less clutter, more clarity. Finally, I'd ask for more clan emblems and additional visual elements like clan flags, purely cosmetic, but hugely important for identity and community attachment. Of course, this isn't a complete list. Any player could name plenty of other small things worth improving. The key point is this: before adding more big systems, it's worth taking a close look at what already exists and asking a simple question: are we really using it to its full potential? Because sometimes the biggest improvements don't come from the biggest updates. They come from careful listening and smart, consistent decisions. And what we do today can have a real impact on how enjoyable the game feels tomorrow. Thank you for your time and for watching this video. If you like my content and want me to create more, please give it a thumbs up. A thumbs down is also fine if you don't like it. This way, I'll know whether it's worth making this kind of material. A thumbs up lets me know it's worth spending time on. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and write something in the comments as well. Comments help boost the reach because YouTube sees interest in my videos and suggests them to other people when there are many comments. That's why I'm asking for a comment to help this video get better viewership. If you have an idea for a topic you'd like me to cover in the next video, share it in the comments. I'd love to hear your suggestions. I'm looking forward to your opinions and ideas. See you in the next video.